Western Cape Provincial Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Thembisile Patekile, has released the province's crime statistics for the period July to September this year. Patekile says the gains made in crime reduction in the first quarter of 2025-26 year have been eroded over the period after that. This has raised some concerns over weaknesses in the justice system, resulting in high and sustained rates of criminality. For more, we are joined by Dr Llewellyn MacMaster, Chairperson of the Cape Crime Crisis Coalition. Dr MacMaster, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Give us a sense around what some of the gains are that had been eroded, perhaps also specifically to focus on the hotspots such as gang-related violence along the Cape Flats.
Yeah, it's actually very difficult because I think there's always been disputes when the police release their statistics and when they claim successes, while the community does not necessarily have a sense that the police are in control. So even with regard to the plan to fight gangs, for example, there's no clarity about the plan. I mean, a couple of months ago, the Minister Kachalia admitted in Mitchell's Plain that there was actually no plan. So it's difficult to really understand what those gains were that has been eroded. All we know is that things are getting worse on the ground.
If there were any sort of reduction, statistically at least and empirically, I sense from you that those reductions would have been as a consequence of itself in spite of policing and not as a result because of policing. Do I get a sense that you seem to think that policing has made zero effect and had zero impact, so to speak, on curbing gang-related crime on the Cape Flats?
Yeah, I think unfortunately that is the sense that we have. And a little while ago, a number of voices actually were raised asking for General Patekile to resign or be fired because of the levels of frustration that people have. On the other hand, I always say that from the side of the Cape Crime Coalition, we are committed to work with the police to find lasting solutions, because the problem of crime and gangsterism in the Western Cape is not a new one. It's decades long, and I think that is the frustrating part for us. That there are for example, certain police stations that continue to come up and rank, in the highest top 10 of the country. And that tells you something. So when the commissioner spoke yesterday, he clearly also indicated that they have challenges, huge challenges, in meeting the changing environment with regard to crime.
Yeah. What is needed to curb gang-related violence on the Cape Flats? We've heard the term intelligence-led policing being used when speaking about the Western Cape and its uniquities. But let's speak about what that actually means. Firstly, are these gangs penetrable by intelligence operatives? And if so, is that intelligence and information used correctly in a way that is effective in fighting the scourge?
I think it should be effective if it's done correctly. But I think, with everything coming out in the Madlanga Commission and even before that, when, the top level of crime intelligence were arrested and so on, I think people do not really have confidence that the police can do it. But it still remains a sort of sound basis if we have good crime intelligence-led initiatives, and I think that is what we are crying out. People want to to see that, and I think added to that, it means community crime or community intelligence being used, because communities know what's going on. But if they don't trust the police, they're not coming forward with any information. So again, the coalition tries to work with the police, but at the same time, encourage communities also to play their part in bringing about change, because we cannot just point fingers to the police without us committing ourselves also as a community or communities to work towards finding lasting solutions and peace in our communities.
Yeah. When we talk about gang violence, it seems to be fought quite literally on the ground and not up the value chain. Typically, these are around the smuggling of illegal firearms and drugs and other paraphernalia that come through a sophisticated and complicated, perhaps even an organized, syndicated crime network. If it's fought towards the top, it seems to be breaking down the supply of these things that fuel the lifelines of these gangs. Is the approach to fighting gang violence correct?
I would say no, and I think that is a submission that we also made to Minister Kachalia. We presented a document to him a couple of months ago, where we say we need a completely new approach, because clearly what the police has been doing has not brought the effective, or enough effect to change the situation around. So, and I think that's the crux of the matter. We have met with General Patekile. He has, I think, for the first time, really committed himself and a team from him to work with us in next year, co-designing, a plan that can work.
Yeah. Well, Llewellyn MacMaster, we're going to have to leave it there. Dr. Llewellyn MacMaster is with the Cape Crime Crisis Coalition.